Hey everyone, welcome to the Beyond Basic Bootcamp focusing on generative AI. My name is Shashank Nanwal. A little bit about me. I'm a solutions architect at AWS, and I focus on all things generative AI related. So whether these are building, customer applications for generative AI, building POCs, I focus on all of that. So I come with about 15 years of experience in technology. I've been working with AWS for past close to 3 years now, and welcome to this world of generative AI. Next several weeks, we're going to be talking about different aspects of generative AI and how do you build generative AI applications on AWS. So if you look here, here's the draft curriculum that we're going to be discussing in next several weeks. We're going to start with today. We're going to start with introduction to generative AI on AWS. We're going to go through basics of generative AI, what foundational models are, what Amazon Bedrock is, and the overall generative AI solutions lifecycle. Next week, we're going to focus on prompt engineering. Week after that, we're going to focus on how can you build production-ready generative AI applications on Amazon Bedrock. We're going to also talk about multimodal foundational models, practical examples of what multimodals are, how do you fine tune foundational models on AWS, how do you do RAG-based architecture on AWS, both basic RAG as well as advanced RAG. Then we're going to focus on how do you choose foundational models. Agentic workflow is something which has been catching up and is taking the world by storm. So we're going to focus on agentic AI as well, workflows. We'll talk about some open source frameworks using LangChain. And then we're gonna finish up with how do you optimize the performance with model evals on AWS. Then at the end, we're gonna build an end-to-end application with generative AI. So we're going to look at the requirements, we're going to create a generative AI framework, and we're going to use different AWS services to build an end-to-end solution, and then kind of address some of the common challenges that we see. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I hope you guys all stay for next 11 weeks or so. And I'm very excited to be with you and help you learn how can you build and learn generative AI, focusing on AWS. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Today we're going to start with week one, which is introduction. So I'm going to jump to a slide deck. We're going to go through some basics of generative AI, and then I'm going to show you how can you start, signing up your AWS, signing up on AWS and getting your console and kind of play around with the Amazon Bedrock, UI, and get started with getting access to some of the foundational models that are available on Amazon Bedrock, and start, experimenting with generative AI. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my uh, slide deck here real quick. Awesome. Okay, so we're gonna spend next what 30 to 40 minutes discussing, exploring the fascinating world of generative AI, and how AWS is enabling this technology, and also look at some of the practical ways to leverage it. So whether you are a student who is, who wants to learn generative AI, or you are a seasoned developer, data scientist, or some, a curious individual who wants to who wants to learn generative AI, this is very important because this is going to give you some of the solid foundational skills that you need to understand Gen AI and all things Gen AI related. So here's the agenda for today. I'm going to start talking about what generative AI is, what are some of the foundational models and recent advancements in generative AI, what are capabilities of generative AI, right? Why do we use generative AI? That's very important, right? Not all problems need a generative AI based solution. So we're going to kind of get into that as well. Security and ethical concerns with generative AI. This is something that is extremely important. I talk to a lot of my customers that want to uh, build Gen AI applications, but there are a lot of questions about, hey, how secure it's going to be. What are some of the ethical concerns it could possess, who owns that content. So, it's extremely important that we know how does that all work. Uh, so we're going to be talking about that. Then I will also talk about, Amazon Bedrock, which is uh, a serverless service that AWS offers to help customers build end-to-end generative AI applications. And then we're going to finish with a Gen AI solution lifecycle. So I'm very excited. Let's dive straight into this. Okay. All right. So let's start with an introduction to Gen AI. So, generative AI is a subset of artificial intelligence that focuses on creating new content. So this is extremely important, right? When you want to create new content, uh, whether these are images, these are new text. When I say text, new text, summarization of text, writing emails, understanding documents, all of that, falls into the text category. Creating new music, creating code, whether we are creating, just functions or the entire code, or even videos. Uh, and building all of this based on patterns that these models learn from the vast amount of data sets. So that's primarily what generative AI is. Okay. uh, Unlike traditional AI, if you guys know what traditional AI is, uh, you know, for those who know what machine learning is, that traditional aspect of machine learning focuses on mostly prediction uh, or classification. So, predict sales data or classify whether some sort of cells are cancerous cells or not cancerous cells. So, classification. This is what traditional AI focuses on. Gen AI focuses on generation, so new content, new images, new text, right? I'm sure you all know, I've worked on ChatGPT, GitHub Copilot, or Midjourney. They all use generative AI. Okay, so generative AI is generating new data, writing emails. It's example. Traditional AI, also known as discriminative AI, focuses on classification, so spam detection, for example. Okay, how does this work? Okay, so let's talk about how does generative AI works. Generative AI, the foundational models under the hood, focuses on have been trained on massive amount of data. Okay, think of all this data that's available on internet. These are text, these are images, these are videos. All these foundational models have been trained off this massive, huge amount of data sets. Okay, uh, it uses neural networks. So if you know deep learning, you sure you have heard of neural networks. So it uses these foundational models use neural networks and transformer architecture or diffusion models to predict and generate outputs. Okay, so I'm not going to get into like very technical details of what transformers are or what diffusion models are, but understand that it uses deep learning neural networks to predict and generate outputs. Okay. Let's do some examples. So if you ask a foundational models, whether ChatGPT or Anthropic or Amazon own models, Nova models, or others, you send an input. We also call it as a prompt. So let's say we send an input, write a poem about AWS, and then the foundational models gives you an output, which is a generated poem. Okay, so that's how at a very high level what generative AI is and what foundational models are. Let's talk about what foundational models are. Okay, we talked about generative AI works. Perfect. All right. So foundational models, think of these are backbones of generative AI. Okay. Uh, Foundational models, also known as FMs, are large-scale AI models that are pre-trained or on diverse data. And that serve as base for multiple tasks, right? For examples, you have GPT-4, a model owned by ChatGPT. It's a text-based model that focuses on generating text. Then we have models from Stable Diffusion or Nova Canvas that Amazon owns. These are models that focus on image generation. Or we have models from Anthropic, Claude models that are more conversational AI. So you ask a question, then it responds back to you like a one-on-one chat, which are conversational AIs. Okay, why are they important? So there are two main reasons. They are all general purpose, so they can solve different kind of problems. Okay, they can also be fine-tuned for specific task. So if you want to focus on, let's say, translation, summarization, these foundational models can be fine-tuned for like a specific task. Uh, with fine tuning, you can also reduce some training cost. So if you want to use a foundational model and you want to use it for your specific uh, enterprise purpose, you don't have to train from scratch, right? You can adapt existing models and then you can fine tune for your specific task and use it for your specific purpose. Uh, AWS provides access to leading foundational models. So models from Anthropic, AI 21, Stability AI, Meta models, as well as Amazon-owned Nova models. They're all provided uh, uh, to all of you uh, through Amazon Bedrock. So I'm going to talk about Bedrock later, but think of them as a way for you to get access to all these different foundational models. Okay. All right. Uh, Recent advancements in Gen AI. So this field is evolving extremely rapidly. Every week I see a new model coming up or a new feature coming up in an existing model. There's a lot going on. So if you take a step back, in 2023, ChatGPT was launched by ChatGPT. Uh, then we had Claude 2 models were launched by Anthropic. We had Llama 2 open source model launched by Meta. So that was year 2023. Since then, a lot of advancements have been made in Gen AI. Um, we also launched. There also been instances of multimodals. Uh, that understand not just text, but they also understand text, images, audio, right? GPT-4V as an example. Recently, there has been a lot of advancements in agentic-based AIs. And we have like a separate session that is going to talk about what agentic-based AIs are. But think of agent-based AIs are, intelligent AI that can autonomously perform tasks on your behalf, like complete tasks on your behalf. So that field is growing extremely fast. We talked about customizable models, wherein you can customize and fine-tune models for your specific task, whether it's healthcare, whether it's finance, whether it's edtech. Those functionalities are available. AWS is an innovator in this field, and we have done a lot of advancements in this field. Uh, in terms of launching models and offering different services that you all can use to build Gen AI based applications. There's a lot of excitement that's going on today with different capabilities that these models can offer. So it's extremely fascinating. All right, generative AI has endless applications. So let's just explore a few. So if we look here, we can talk about content creation, all the way from marketing based use cases wherein it can generate uh, ad copies, social media posts. Uh, from design standpoint, it can generate logos, can create artworks. It's extremely powerful in that ways. For developers, if you have a software developer background, uh, it can create a code for you, and it can help you write code faster. So we have GitHub Copilot, we have Amazon Q for Developer. That's a service that AWS owns. It's extremely powerful. I use Amazon Q for Developer every single day. So we look at Q for Developer at some point, but it's extremely powerful for you to write an entire application using these code-based generator, whether it's Copilot or Q for Developer. Then we have conversational AIs. So think of them as chatbots. You interact with them. So we have Lex from Amazon, and then we have Claude models that are also conversational AIs. Um, Customer support automation is an example for this use case. Then you also have data augmentation. So it can create synthetic data for machine learning training. So these are some of the possibilities that generative AI has to offer. Some real-world examples include new summarization, personalized recommendation, virtual assistant. So as you see, there are limitless possibilities of generative AI offerings. This is my favorite slide. With great power comes great responsibilities. Okay, some of the key concerns that enterprises have today are, hey, I'm happy to use and build generative AI applications, but I've heard I've heard on LinkedIn, I've heard from others that models sometimes create bias output, which is a very valid concern, right? So we're going to talk about some of the concerns that enterprises have. So bias and fairness is top of the line, right? And it is true, models can inherit bias from the training data, right? So as I told you earlier, these models have been trained on billions and billions and billions of row of data. And if the training data has some biases in, it's natural that your models will have some inherent bias. Okay. There's also a lot of misinformation and deep fakes. So if you go on social media these days, there's a lot of AI generated fake news, impersonations skills, personation skills, these deep fakes that you see all on social media. So a lot of misinformation. So it's important that we talk about that, right? Because that's a concern. Data privacy is a big concern, right? Enterprises are concerned that, hey, if I use my own data, uh, will my data be used for the model training purpose, right? That's a very valid concern. Data leakages, right? What happens if my data gets leaked and the model starts outputting my private data? So that's extremely, 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 extremely concerning for a lot of enterprises. AWS takes security very, very, very seriously, and we address these challenges. Okay, uh, within Amazon Bedrock, and as I said, we're gonna talk about what Bedrock is. We have guardrails. We have some inbuilt guardrails, and we also let customers use custom guardrails. These guardrails can help fill some harmful content, and we also emphasize a lot on responsible AIs. So transparency, fairness, accountability. Uh, some of the best practices that you all should use is always validate output. Okay, and then AWS has some built-in safety features. We highly recommend you use those features to ensure that your models are not leaking out uh, either sensitive data or there's no data leakage going on. So there's a lot of inbuilt features, and when we go into the console, we look at some of them. So it's extremely important that uh, we know that those features do exist. Okay. All right. Amazon Bedrock. This is the core of generative AI stack on AWS. So Amazon Bedrock is a fully managed serverless service that lets customers build and scale Gen AI applications using some of the top foundational models that are available in the market. Okay, uh, it's a serverless, fully managed service, so you don't have to worry about setting up the underlying infrastructure, whether it's setting up databases, setting up EC2 instances. All of that is abstracted from you. Okay, so we present it as a serverless service. So it's extremely powerful in that way. Okay. Some of the key features, you can access different foundational models. Not one model fits all the use cases. Some models are great at some specific task, but they're not great at all the different tasks. So with Bedrock, you have access to all the different models. You can pick and choose which model best fit your use case for a specific type of use case. So whether it's Claude model, whether it's Llama models, whether it's Jurassic models, whether it's Amazon Nova models, all those models are available to you. Because it's serverless, you don't have to manage any underlying infrastructure. You can do fine tuning. So if you want to fine tune a model based on your proprietary data set, you can fine tune an existing foundational models. RAG is also extremely powerful. So if you don't know, RAG is retrieval augmented generation. We're going to talk about RAG later. But if you have your proprietary data that's stored in, let's say, PDFs or on S3 or in your databases, you can use a RAG-based workflow to enhance the model response based on your proprietary data. Okay, so that's where RAG comes into the picture. So if you want to customize models with your data, you use RAG workflow. Again, security is, as I said, is extremely important for AWS. So we let enterprises build like private model deployments, encrypt data at rest and transit. All of that is available. So a use case would be, let's say if you want to build a customer service chatbot, you can use Bedrock and let's say Nova models to build that chatbot on Amazon Bedrock. All right. So here's the Bedrock workflow, and we're going to look at this shortly in a UI as well. So you select your foundational model from the console, then you can ask experimenting in the playground, just like a ChatGPT experience. You can also customize, fine tune, or like have a RAG workflow, and you can also deploy them via a simple API. All right. So generative AI solution lifecycle. So building a generative AI solution has 5 key steps. Okay. The first step is you define your use case. What's the problem you're trying to solve, right? Example could be to automate a report generation, right? So if you want to automate that, that's your use case, okay? The second step is choose the right model, right? As I told you earlier, Bedrock has different models that are available to you. So you can pick and choose the right model that best fit your use case. So whether it's Claude model or a Nova model or Stable Diffusion for image generation, you pick up that model. Okay. The third step is fine tuning and customize. So if do you want to fine tune a model, or do you want to have a RAG architecture in that model? You can pick and choose those as well. Next step is to deploy that model. So there are multiple ways you can deploy models on AWS. You can use Amazon SageMaker, which is an end-to-end machine learning based application for that lets customers or enterprises deploy their machine learning models on AWS, or you can deploy those on Amazon Bedrock via API. So those are a couple of ways to deploy, and then obviously to monitor those models on AWS. Keeping security, compliance, and governance in place. So example could be an enterprises uses Bedrock as well as Nova to generate patient reports securely. It's a very powerful workflow for GenAI solution lifecycle. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. Why do you need AWS for GenAI? So AWS offer the broadest set of foundational models. I talked about some of the examples earlier, so I'm not going to get into those right now, but we offer the broadest and the deepest selections of foundational models. AWS also has enterprise-grade security. It integrates with different AI ML tools, so SageMaker for AI development or deployments, and then Lambda for serverless computing. It's extremely easy to get started for building generative AI applications on Bedrock. You sign up on your AWS console, and then you can explore the Bedrock console, and then you can try a tutorial that we offer and build like a chatbot in few minutes. Right? So I'm going to stop sharing, and then I'm going to hop over to my AWS console, and then we're going to look at a quick demo of how can you start building this um, on AWS real quick. Okay, awesome. So here's my AWS console. So I'm logged in. The first thing you do is you go to search Bedrock, and you click on Amazon Bedrock. So once you're here, uh, this is the Amazon Bedrock homepage, and you see there are several features. And as we, as we go through this bootcamp, we're going to look at all these different features and build like an end-to-end application. But for now, just remember, this is the homepage for Bedrock. The first thing you need to do is under model Bedrock configuration, you click on model access. Okay, this is where you would get access to all the different models. So as you see, I don't have access to any model here, right? So I'm going to click on, either I can click on enable all the models, or I can click on enable specific models. So I'm going to click on enable specific models, and I can select different models that I can pick and choose from. So these are, if you look at, these are all the models that Amazon offers. So I'm going to click on, let's say, Nova Lite, and then I also need Claude 3. Let's say 3.5 Haiku, and let's get one more. Let's get Stability AI, and let's also get Nova Canvas because I love images. Okay, so I'm going to click on next. I'm going to click on uh, sample company.com. Okay, it says invalid ARL. Okay, there you go. Education, internal. This is for testing purpose. Okay, just talk about, these are, Anthropic requires you to provide some additional information. So you just enter those, click on next, and click on submit. So once you do that, within 60 seconds, you get access to this different model. So you just go back here. Actually, it took me like 3 seconds, right? So I have access granted for Nova Lite, access granted for Nova Canvas. I see 3.5 is still in progress. So this might take about 60 seconds, but you should get access pretty soon. This is also in progress. So if I click on refresh, it is still in progress. So you should get access pretty soon. Oh, no, see, Stability AI was granted access in 10 seconds. So it doesn't take that much time. It's pretty quick. We're gonna go back and go to the overview. So this is where you can see, you can get a lot of information about uh, Amazon Bedrock, and I can click on model catalogs. These are all the different models that are available. So, think of this as like a place you can go and explore all these different models, okay, uh, that all the different providers offer. These are different providers. So we got AI 21 Labs, Amazon, Anthropic, Meta, Mistral AI, DeepSeek. DeepSeek has taken internet by storm. An extremely powerful model. I love DeepSeek for the quality of output that it generates. Stability AI for image generations and Cohere models as well. Okay. Uh, if you're Now let's click on foundational models. These are the model catalog. We kind of talk about it. There's also a marketplace deployment. I'm not going to skip that. We'll look at it later. But this is mostly focused on like enterprises, big enterprises that want to deploy their models on Amazon Marketplace, which is, think of this as like a SaaS version of Amazon.com. Okay. These are some of the new features, custom model. So if you want to bring like a custom model from elsewhere, or an important model, or like route some, prompt routing from one model to the other model, um, this is very common. These are all the different features. We got guardrails for safeguarding, watermark detection, inference, builder tools, a lot of, very technical things. So we're gonna start easy. And then for next several weeks, we're going to go through all the different features. So don't worry if you don't understand everything. You don't need to understand everything, okay? Just understand that Bedrock is where you build these GenAI applications on AWS, okay? Uh, one thing I would highly suggest you do is click on playground, and under playground, you see chat, text, or image video. So click on chat or text. Okay, this is where you can start experimenting on Amazon Bedrock. Okay, so when you come here, it's gonna show you a screen like this, and select whether you want to do a chat based or a single prompt. So I'm going to select chat, and then from here I'm going to select the models, right? So remember, we got access to three models. uh, 3.5 haiku is, we already have that model access, and then you also have model access to Nova uh, Lite. Okay, so let's select 3.5 haiku and click on apply, and now you're going to see this playground shows up. Okay, and this is where you can start experimenting and writing your own prompts and get a response from the model. So I highly recommend you do that. System prompts is where you would come in, and let's say you want, in this case, Claude 3.5 Haiku to act as an extremely intelligent math tutor, right? So if you want the model to to portray a specific persona, all of that information can go in system prompts, right? And then the next few set of features, so temperature, top P, top K, drives randomness and diversity in the model output. So how diverse or how random you want the model output to be. And these are some of the knobs that you can play with. So you can like drag and change the randomness, uh, maximum length, so how long uh, the 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 output should be. So if you want to put a cap there, you can select that. And this is also very powerful because uh, these model charge based on the number of input tokens as well as the number of output tokens, which is your output. Okay, so your text that you are entering the prompt gets converted into a prompt. Okay, or a token, excuse me. So converting text to tokens is not as like a straightforward task, uh, but uh, think of these tokens as like a process of what we call as tokenization. Okay, so Bedrock uses a tokenization algorithm to break text into tokens, right? You don't have to get into like very specific details, but think of this as, hey, number of tokens equals to 1.3 times number of words. So if your input prompt has 10 words, that translates to about 13 tokens. So for the actual pricing, uh, it's going to be number of input tokens plus number of output tokens. So let's say if my input text is what is you know x times y if x equals 5 and y equals 3. Let's say if these are like 10 words, that translates to 13 tokens. So it'd be priced for 13 tokens. And then if the answer is, what is 5 and 7, so the answer is 35. It's, you know, one word or two words, that becomes 1.3 times 2, that's 2.6. So 13 tokens plus 2.6 tokens, about 15.6 tokens. So the pricing for this is going to be for 15.6 tokens. Okay, pricing is extremely low. So unless you're hitting like millions and millions of tokens input and output, the pricing is going to be extremely low. Okay, I recommend you all go to Bedrock pricing. I think we go here, search on Amazon Bedrock pricing. This is where you can go and look at different pricing for different models, right? So this is per 1,000 input tokens, 0.002 cents, and then for 1,000 output tokens, 0.008 cents. So extremely cost effective in that way, right? Okay. If you have a guardrail, so if you want, the models to protect some sensitive data, this is where you put in a guardrail. So you come here and start with a prompt, right? Please help me plan an IT for Italy. help me plan a 5-day itinerary for Italy. I love hiking and visit secluded places. Okay, places. You are an expert traveler who suggests travel itinerary. Okay, so that's my system prompt. Okay, so I enter this prompt and I click on run. So now Claude 3.5 is going to think through and generate a 5-day itinerary for you, keeping these two things in mind: hiking and visiting secluded places. Okay, here's a 5-day itinerary. So let's go through it. So day one, there's a hiking trail. Go to Liguria region. Arrive here. Go to this national park. So as you see here, it is customizing the output based on my likings, right? It also gives me, hey, what are some of the essentials that you should pack? Okay. And then you can, you can chat with it. Yeah, please elaborate on estimated budget, right? It says about 1,000 to 1,500 euros per person. So I would say, okay, let's elaborate on that. All right, this is how we came up with that budget in mind. Okay. So budget includes accommodation, transportation, food expenses, activity costs, you know, miscellaneous activities, and then the total budget, right? And then it also gives you money saving tips. Okay, so help me with money saving tips. My budget is only 500 euros. Okay, there you go. So as you see, like it's a back and forth chat-based experience. And now, based on my budget, it's giving me a new output, right? So it says, okay, here's the budget. This is how you should divide that budget for 5 days. And I'll say, yes, please do that. Yes, please. Okay. And now based on this budget, it's going to create another itinerary for me, right? That suits my 500 euros budget. So as you see, as I'm interacting with this model, it is kind of customizing. It's customizing it for my specific budget in this case. And on the right, you see how many input tokens and how many output tokens it used. So this is what's going to drive the cost. Okay, so this is how you interact with uh, a foundational model on Amazon Bedrock. So if you want to have a chat based, if you want a single prompt, come here again, select a model. It'll say Anthropic, Nova Light, and say, okay, what is log? Okay, I'm going to ask, what is benzene chemical composition? Okay, all right, this is a chemistry question. So it gives me like a single response, right? So this is a one way, like just single prompt, and it gives me all the information, molecular formula of benzene, bonding, properties, chemical properties, etc., etc. So pretty awesome answer there. Okay, 6 tokens, right? Pretty simple prompt, and then 446 output tokens. So it will cost for both input plus output tokens. So as you say, extremely powerful and fast in giving me a response. Okay. Next, we look into images and a video playground. So I had access to Nova Canvas. So I'm going to select Nova Canvas. And then if I want to create an image, uh, let's say dinosaur drinking tea. That's a funny prompt. And now Nova Canvas is going to create an image with a dinosaur drinking tea. And I've asked for 3 images. So as you see, pretty awesome images that were created by the Nova model. You can generate variations. You can remove object, replace background, a lot of things you can do. You can also download this image right here. Okay, so it's downloaded here on your computer. And you can pick and choose how many images you want. If you want to create a different variation of this image, so okay, I want to create a different variation. I'd create a different variations with the dinosaur on the other side. Okay, to create replace background. Say I want to create, I don't like this background. Let's replace this. So I select that specific, I mask that specific area that I want to replace, and I hit run. So it's gonna try and replace this background for me. We can also have, there you go. So it kind of did something funky. So it actually used that. It actually uh, use this masking there, and then it replace everything else, which is what it preserves whatever selection that we use here. So the content outside this selection is going to be changed. So everything outside this got changed, including the dinosaur, which is which is extremely powerful in this case, right? So now let's say I want to select just the T, right? So I want this T to be preserved, and I want everything else to be replaced. So now it's going to keep this T right here. It's going to create a new variation of a new dinosaur with exactly this T. So let's see how that works. Okay. All right. So that's the image generation playground. There you go. So got a new dinosaur there with the same image, the T image that I had. It's extremely powerful there. Uh, and last is the video playground. So if you click on video playground, um, I don't think I enabled any video models here. So if you go back and enable video model, I highly recommend you try that out and put it in the comment section on YouTube what the output was. So it's the same thing you would do. You could click on model access. You're going to click on modify model access. You're going to select Nova Real, which is a video model right here. I think that's the only model that's available today on Bedrock that does videos. So click on next, Nova Real, and click on submit. So an exercise for you is go ahead and try prompting Nova Reel for a video generation. You can create up to 2 minutes of videos and put in the comment section the result of the video that was generated. Right? You could pick and choose any prompt, whether it's marketing, whether it's sales, or for a specific use case, anything that you want. But try that out and post it in the comment section. Okay. So I think that's it for today. I hope you like the session. In the next session, we're gonna deep dive into the section number 2, and as I said, I'm very excited to be here. We're gonna focus on next week. We're gonna focus on section 2, which is prompt engineering. So I hope you guys liked today's session. Please stay tuned for the second session. We're going to look at prompts. We're going to write how do you write good prompts. We're going to look at some advanced techniques for writing prompts. How do you evaluate different prompts? So it's going to be extremely important for you to attend that session. So stay tuned. I hope you all had a good time today, and I'll see you again next week. So thank you, everyone. Thanks for your time today. Bye.